What's up, dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Rhomas Men's Team. Pretty simple. We are a group of guys helping each other make progress towards each other's goals. If you're new to the channel, awesome and welcome. If you want to help support the channel and join our pro team, head over to romasteam.com/pro, where you can contribute to us on a donation basis. We also give you access to exclusive content, mastermind groups, etc., etc. So anyway, hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see you on the team. All right, we are live, back in action, and we have, if Ray's up for it, we have a pretty, I would say, the best way to describe it is like real life topic. Ray, I'll let you, throw the mic over to you if you want to dive into it, buddy, if you're comfortable.
Yeah, thank you, Wes. Yeah. Um, had dinner with my daughter and my quasi ex, or right, like we're in the pre-divorce stage yesterday, and I never learned my lesson. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna, I've got some time, so I'm just gonna go over and hang out with you guys, right? And of course, so the wife explains that she's 80% sure that she wants to move to Florida in September and take our daughter with her. And so that I would be losing daily access to my only child. And
And Ray currently lives in Toronto, so it's
yeah,
quite a distance from Florida. Yeah.
now she said I'm welcome to come anytime, once a month, she said, and I could have summers. But um, yeah, and it's just weird. Like it's like no, you know. And so
Mm.
she went through the emotional appeal. Oh, my mom's getting old and lives down in Florida, so I want to be with her. And like her boyfriend was recently arrested for waving a gun in public, and so I'm concerned about her. Uh, so I'm going to bring my daughter down there to that environment, right? The
Hold on.
economy isn't,
The grandma's boyfriend was waving
yeah,
a gun in public? What?
yeah,
What
yeah.
a gangster. Is he from Philadelphia? I like it.
Well, then, yeah, but this is like, I'm like, again, like this happened in Florida, so I was like, isn't that like just kind of like how you kind of direct traffic?
Isn't
Like
that how
up
they say
here,
hello?
yeah, up here, if like two cars are merging on the highway, you kind of just say, "Go ahead," you know. But in Florida, don't you do that with like a gun? And so, yeah, and then so like it just, and I guess a way that you could kind of shed light on it, Wes, is just like from a negotiation point of view. Like, so it's like work is drying up here. There's a lot of opportunity in Florida, so I need to move down there or we'll be broke. My mom's getting old, so I need to move down to Florida to be with her. Her boyfriend is waving a gun around in public, got arrested and facing a felony. Again, I think no Florida judge is going to convict you of, waving a gun around. It's just um, like what Matt McCusker, our spiritual shaman, would just call kind of uncle behavior or whatever, right? And so let the boys be boys, right? Uh, and again, but then it's like we've done so much for you, um, so it's kind of a shame angle. And then she's like, I make more money than you, so the courts are going to agree with me anyway. And I don't think she said there's nothing you can do, but there was
It was implied.
kind of it was a problem. Yeah. So that's kind of distracting me today. Um, as you can imagine. Uh, and even if she doesn't go through with it, it's just like uh the kind of feeling of powerlessness that comes up, or the like, the threat to the relationship with my daughter, you know, um,
Mhm.
is uncomfortable. And yeah, so that's that's my 24 hours. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask, how are you doing, Wes?
Doing great, man.
Yeah, I
Um,
figured.
yes. Well, so can I ask you maybe a bit of
Go.
an orthodox question, but it's where my head goes.
Yeah,
Um, I have to have this conversation quite a bit with clients on the finance side, and it's
yeah,
that, um, if you were to read a finance textbook, risk would be proportional to the amount, let's say, the amount of capital, right, that one could lose. Um, and that's where I think it's wrong, right? It's where like standard economics assumes robots, right? Behavioral economics assumes Homo sapiens, you know? Um,
hmm
so I'm curious, like in finance, right? It's like if I were to risk $100,000, it'd be in a textbook, it'd be the same thing as if Jeff Bezos were to risk $100,000. These are not the same thing, right?
yeah,
These are not the
right.
same thing at all, you know? Um, so
It's like
I say
Bezos
this for,
risking the GDP of France or something,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Um, you
I'm doing
know,
my best to use your like examples to make jokes, Wes. So I'm doing my
yeah.
best here.
So,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Deal with the scraps you're given, sort of thing. Um, so I say this from a loving, respectful standpoint.
Yeah.
If we had to just pay attention to what we can control, because
hmm
your ex-spouse is going to say whatever she's going to say, good, bad, or
Yeah.
indifferent. But the risk is going to be proportional not to the number on the table. It's going to be proportional to your ability to handle that number. So how much of this could be mitigated if you upped your game as the man who you need to be? Do you know what I mean? Right? Like,
And
in other
are
words,
you saying trying to compete with her on at least the financial front, where there isn't such a compelling case for her to take Thea down to Florida because the finances would be kind of matched? Is that what you're
I
proposing?
mean, that's probably one of the metrics, because I think I'd probably be one of your few friends who would be in the category of saying like, okay, let that person say whatever they're going to say, but from a playbook standpoint, okay,
hmm
well, let's say we do go to court. What are the things that are going to be put on the table there? We could probably take a reasonable stab at what's put on the table there. Do you know what I mean? Like, Ray, you just said one of them, right? Like, what are the 3 to 5 things where somebody could poke a hole in my armor? And you know what?
hmm
We're not going to court tomorrow. So I'm going to fill
hmm
those, and then I'm going to take over from there. Do you know what I mean? Because now, obviously, it goes without being said to me, especially as your friend, but even if I was an alien, right, like objectively looking down, that doesn't seem right to me, right? Like, do you know what I mean? In the absence
hmm
of some sort of actual risk to the child, how can it even be suggested we're just going to move, right, like an unreasonable distance away, and especially for the reasons that you just said, right? Like, oh, my
hmm
mother's getting older. Well, that decision was made a long time ago, right? However, you guys moved apart
hmm
from the mother, that is completely irrelevant from now. Um, and then all the other things, it doesn't seem right. But also at the same time, I'm here to come from a practical angle of like, okay, well, if we're gonna go to war, right? Like, how do we prepare for that? So,
hmm
what's your take?
Exactly. Yeah, I think that um, getting more income and a stable home where she could spend like to create a more compelling custody argument is in
Mhm.
those two ways is what I could do possibly to improve my to strengthen my armor. Um, get a fearless like family law lawyer to work on it for me would be another thing. Um, yeah. Uh, and Ryan is also consulting ChatGPT in my defense. So we've got a range of resources at our disposal. We've got ChatGPT.
Love it.
We got Bros. We got the lawyer. Um, who needs ChatGPT when you've got Wes, right? Who's the personality version of ChatGPT? And thank you, Ryan, for your input and support. I really appreciate that, man. And that's the other thing, right? Where she doesn't want to lawyer up, like she just wants to rely on these emotional appeals to convince me to go along with this.
Well, let me say this as well. Like, I think number one, shining light on bully ball, I think is really important, like kind of right out of
Hmm.
the gate. And then taking a position of like calmness, but also at the same time, it's like, hey, you're not going to take advantage of me. I want to pause out real quick. Feels a little bit like you're bullying, and I'm comfortable with saying that because I'm stronger than you. So like it doesn't feel I'm coming from a weak position. But then also, okay, let's go through the logic here, right? Like, all the things you just said. Your mother, your mother's getting older. Okay, again, that was a past decision. That's not my problem, right? Uh, Number two, what else did you say? Right, like, oh, the work is drying up here. I don't
Hmm.
know how true or not true that is, but I would highly doubt that there was a sophisticated due diligence like analysis process that went along with that statement. It seems like it's just a convenient like one liner to throw in to the overall argument. Um,
Hmm.
and then in terms of like just being respectful parent people to each other, like, hey, and this is where the radio FM DJ voice from Never Split the Difference,
Right.
that author is absolutely outstanding. And it was just like, just asking the person in a calm voice of like, how, how am I supposed to do that? Right. And before you answer, just reverse the role, right? Like, think about it if I were coming to you and asking that. Like how would that feel? You know? Um
Hmm.
and clearly you're putting the person like they're only gonna throw they're either gonna actually that's either gonna break them out of it, or they're just gonna throw emotional haymakers that are gonna just be completely wild to the point where they can't be paid attention to.
Hmm. Yeah, and there was a bit of that back and forth. Um, I said, how about she stays in Toronto, where she lives, where she goes to school, where her friends are, and you travel for work. I'll let you come back
Right.
once a month. I'll
Right.
let you have her during the summers. And yeah, that was a very offensive proposal
How
to her,
ridiculous of you to say that, Ray. That's
right?
ridiculous.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you had well, first of all, how did your daughter feel about this?
Well, here's part of the problem is that mom's been giving her, because she lives with mom, mom's been giving her a steady drumbeat of, I can't
Mm.
afford any of this. Work is drying up. I'm scared. And so I think that um, in order for mom to be happy, she is uh, buying in or co-signing
Mm.
this, you know?
Yeah. So
Uh,
like guilt tripped into it and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah. And just like, yeah. And
What
kind of like
what's the age of your
managing,
daughter?
managing parents, managing mom's mood, you know? She's
Yeah.
12 years old. And I'm sure you did a certain amount of that growing up, Wes. I think we all do as a survival skill, you know? Right?
Yeah.
Like how we respond to our parents in order to keep things calm in the house.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 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 without a doubt. I mean, if we had to look at what's on our side of control, if you had, what do you think the chinks in your armor are? And what do you think the plan of attack is to fill them? And also, by the way, I think, right, there is something to be said for the fact that your ex-wife said that she doesn't want to go to court. Um, that might be some sort of tell. It's like, yeah, probably because the courts, right, might not see it exactly your way, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah. No,
So,
you are not wrong. The motivation is financial. She wants to get her way without having to spend 100 grand doing it, right? Uh, the same applies for the divorce more broadly, right?
mhm,
She wants to get her way and she doesn't want to have to spend, 100 or 2x or 10x that, whatever.
mhm,
Uh, so that is the motivation, but also the kind of like, let's just kind of steamroll Ray into what I want, you know? There's that component too.
mhm.
So
Phil, let's
good.
oh, sorry, Ray, go ahead.
No, no, no. I'm here to listen.
Phil, what's your take, bud?
Uh, I haven't really heard much of the issue. I've been trying to get this website to work. What's the
So,
problem?
so Ray, do you want to summarize it?
Yeah, my ex or soon to be ex told me yesterday that she is like 80% or greater sure she wants to move to Florida and take my daughter with her. Um, uh, her new boyfriend has an office down there. Her mom lives down there, and yeah, and then she just has a whole menu of reasons why, like emotional appeals, financial appeals. Like her mom's getting old, and and she needs to be with her mom. Uh, Work isn't going well here. There's lots of opportunity down there. Her boyfriend has an office down there, and so it's compatible with her romantic life. Yeah, and then um, I guess I can figure out a way to come visit them once a month, or see her on in summers or something.
Wait, you said it's Florida?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, damn, that's weird. Is she American? She has an American passport or something?
No, no, no. Her mom lives down there. Her mom lives. She retired from marrying rich older men and kind of like resides in Florida.
Huh.
And yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
man.
just
Sorry to hear that.
like,
That's
yeah, dude.
that's the worst. That really sucks. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this stuff. It really sucks. It's a really shitty thing to happen when people use kind of hold the kids hostage, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Fucked up.
it's like the way I'm thinking about it today is just like when someone wants to bully you into getting their way, right? Or when someone wants to guilt you or shame you into going along with their plan. That's kind of what's up.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
and in terms of like, so yeah, and I mean, I guess at some point I had to, like, to what Ramon is saying in the text, I need to distinguish between what I want and what's best for me and what's best for the kid. Like what's best for me is to have daily contact with my daughter, right? That's what I want. And then uh, is and so then what is in the best interest of the kid, right? Like um, to move to a new country, to a new school with one parent, or to stay in the current school and the current country with the other, right? And
What's
yeah,
with the well? Yeah, I mean, there's just so many. I don't know. It's hard. The reason I don't want to say anything really is because I know there's so many aspects to this. I know it's probably a whole, it's a whole thing, and it gets
yeah.
into a lot of your personal relationship and stuff and all that. But like, um, what's up with her job situation? She doesn't have a stable job right now, or she's switching jobs or something.
she's just perennially financially insecure. She's like always thinking
Oh,
we're going to be broke, we're
weird.
going to be homeless. Like for as
Huh.
long for the past 20 years, it's we're going to be broke, we're going to
Wait,
be
is
homeless.
that a reality or is that just her anxiety?
No, dude. No, 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 dude. She sleeps in an $8 million house at night.
Hey dudes, sorry for the interruption here. Just wanted to let you know if you want to join our pro team, go to romasteam.com/pro. You can help support the channel. You will also get access to exclusive content, masterminds, one-on-one sessions, etc. All right, back to the episode.
Okay.
Like she
But
doesn't live like
where does
you
the
and I,
money
Phil.
who pays the mortgage for that? Or
It
who owns it or whatever?
is it's inherited wealth. She does, and it's inherited
Okay.
wealth.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's more of an issue of like when you're in a in like when there's a power imbalance in a relationship, you know, and having to go along with the more powerful parties' um,
Yeah.
decisions or whims, you know.
Yeah, man, that's the kind of thing that would just I would not be able to deal with that at all. I would just start fucking spazzing out. And like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's so fucking irritating. Yeah, that really sucks, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Wes already gave you a lot more practical advice than I can.
That's all right, Phil. I
But
appreciate you just listening, man.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just really sorry you're going through that. What's his name? Chalupa Cabra. Forget his street name. Going
Yeah.
through a pretty terrible situation that's similar, and yeah, I've been talking to him about that,
Yeah.
and it just
Well, and then
sucks.
the other thing is like, what if she doesn't go, and what if this is just yet another like
Well, what would it
ride
be?
on the drama roller coaster? You know what I mean? What this is just the new panic,
Why would she
right?
be doing this? Well,
Well, I think that it's
like,
just it's like her response to everything is just kind of panic and make a drastic change. And so, Wes, like I think you probably see this all the time. Um, when someone sees a headline on CNBC and they panic and they like sell everything, or they're like buy, sell everything and buy, fidget spinners or whatever.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I think
you know,
there's a certain amount of that at play here.
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I think. I guess the only thing I think that I would try to do, and like I said, I would do the exact opposite if I were in your situation. I would spaz out and get get crazy angry at her and stuff. But like the one thing I would try to do in this situation is try to be as like as mature as possible, as like strong as possible. Like try to make absolutely sure I'm never talking bad about her around the kids or even saying anything that could insinuate that, and never try to make her feel like I'm gonna retaliate, and just be like as stoic as possible and just be like, you can't affect me, because like that's the thing that I think, like, women I think, women always speak in very complicated ways when it comes to social stuff like this. Like women, they don't say what they mean all the time. They women react to women react the strongest to, like, when they know what's going to happen regardless of what they do, what I mean, like,
Hmm.
um yeah, women are always like, if I know I can fuck with him, then they'll keep fucking with you, like they'll keep pushing your buttons as long as something happens, and if nothing happens, they'll stop doing it. And I'm not saying like, oh, that'll make this go away. Obviously, she has a lot of anxiety. It sounds like she has a lot of stuff going on or whatever. But just trying to be as stable as possible,
Yeah.
like stable in every way, stable in your own life, but especially just stable in every way in relationship to her and the kids. Like, whatever you do with the kids, just keep doing that. All that stuff.
Yeah, like being like, and this is some advice I got from my Men and Men First therapist 2 years ago now, which is just like be the emotionally stable one in the relationship, in the parenting unit, because it sounds like there aren't going to be two emotionally stable people. So be the emotionally stable person. And again, Wes, like that probably comes up for you in your job, right? Where you have to be the emotionally stable person.
Yeah, let me if it's okay, let me throw something out there to you guys. Well, first, I would love to get Zach's opinion on this because he threw a comment up there. So Zach, if you're down for it, brother, I would love to hear your take.
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. I'm outside, so if it sounds windy, just let me know.
You're all good, man.
I don't know. My 2 cents is just my wife went through a custody battle, and it wasn't fun. But after she got through court, like time with her daughter and like being set in stone, it was a lot easier for us emotionally than having to deal with, the ifs, ands, buts of not having anything legally set, and then also like just having to deal with the emotionality of it and having to work around her ex's emotions for it. So it just makes things a lot easier now. You don't have to worry about as much. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. It's just take it to court, get it over with, so that way you have way less to worry about, and it's just way easier for the both of you.
Yeah, and as right, like as fundamental as that advice could sound, I think there's some genius behind it of like sometimes you just have to fight, right? Like let's stop dancing around and like making all these like boogeyman noises and all that kind of stuff. It's like let's just get into the octagon and we'll figure it out. Enough of this, right? Promotion type of stuff. But I also think Charlie Munger had a great comment, and I think is applicable here. He said, the best way to get ahead in life is to deserve it. Um, and I think that was it was outstanding, right? Like, it's like let's screw all this marketing stuff and the positioning stuff. It's like the best way to get ahead is just to deserve it, right? To be so strong that you're getting ahead. Um, so, and Ray knows about this. I had a similar. It wasn't with my own child, but I had a similar type of dynamic that I was relatively, personally involved with, where it was a custody battle. And what I found through going through and talking to attorneys and then seeing what a live court case looks like on this stuff. And dude, it was crazy because my assumption was, and it sounds so obvious when I say it out loud, but like the attorneys will only be able to go off of the raw material that you give them. And it's like, what I could kind of see was like, oh, this hasn't been working out for this person in the past, not because the attorneys were bad, but it's because if you just give them a limited amount of raw material, there's only so much spin they could put on it. So now your attorney is fighting with spin and the other attorney is fighting with spin. And it seems like in that case, the most highly paid attorney, right, is going to win because they're usually better at spinning it. So for this particular person, we just put together a massive spreadsheet, like massive, and then with data points and then screenshots to back up the data points, and then printed that out in a binder with tabs. And guess what the other side did not come with? They did not come with a binder notated with tabs, right? And then they themselves, not the attorneys, the actual person, did not practice and study the scripting and the data points to recall during the trial. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you call it a trial, but whatever that is. And lo and behold, even though this other attorney was dramatically right, like a lower paid attorney than the other one, this person won with flying colors. Because at the end of the day, if somebody has the facts and figures on their side, it's not a guarantee, but it's almost a guarantee when the other side doesn't have any of those facts and figures. So, Ray, to that end, I would be curious if you have those facts and figures. And to Phil's point, I think one of the points he was making is like, Ray, if I were looking at the situation, like, how much time do you spend with your daughter? Right? To that whole thing of like, hey, the best way to get ahead in life is to deserve it. Well, if I were attacking Ray, could I bring up a like, hey, it's pretty interesting. Ray hasn't seen his daughter in 3 weeks. And I don't know if that's true, but I'm saying like if I were looking at the spreadsheet of data points and then just thinking as a I don't know a judge who would make a decision on custody, like what is the data showing us, Ray? So if you don't mind, I'm going to throw the mic back over to you.
Yeah, I see her every day. I pick her up and take her to the bus in the morning. I bring her home at night. There is like when, and again, to your point, Zach, part of the frustration is that I only get extended time with her when mom's social calendar or work calendar requires it, right? So it's not scheduled and it's not predictable, but always available um, when mom's social or uh, um, professional calendar requires it. I remember last year at Easter, there was a dinner or there was an Easter brunch with 12 of her relatives and daughter and mom. And mom decided at the last minute to go down to Florida to meet a guy and introduce him to her mom. And so she was not present for the Easter like banquet with all of her like family members, which I thought was just kind of like hilarious and tone deaf. And yeah. So for example, today I'm picking her up early at 4 o'clock to go down to her volleyball class, you know, and we read together. Yeah, so I'm very involved, like in her life. We're best friends.
Could I hop in on that for a second?
Go.
So you were saying that like your ex will try and basically just get you to hop on whenever she has something in her calendar. If you're
Yeah,
keeping track of that and like showing that to your lawyer, I definitely would, like as Wes is saying, keep metrics on it and
yeah,
either screenshots or just like write it down or something, anything, just so that
yeah.
you can prove that, hey, she's offering up time and I'm taking it up. So it shows that you're like driven, you want to spend time with
Willingness.
your daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, and yeah, 100%, Zach. Thank you for that. And then I think Wes, in terms of what can I control, yeah, like you said, Wes, something I can control is how much homework I do and work I put into and dedication I put into the legal proceeding ahead to capture as much custody and quality time with my daughter as I can, right? Like I
100%.
can control that. I can treat it like a job. I can treat it like a surgeon, rather than just sit here in my dirty diaper and just kind of panic over it, right?
Yeah, and I
Zach,
had to have
just because you're new to the pod, I'm not actually wearing a diaper. It's more of a metaphor of just kind of being kind of frozen with fear. Go ahead, Wes.
I've listened to all the episodes, so I know when you're in your poopy diaper that
Okay,
it's a joke.
yeah, okay. I thought maybe I saw like a flash of judgment or shock but anyway.
No, just the
well,
mental image
so
real quick of you sitting in a diaper.
Okay, Wes.
so I have some of those pictures, Zach. So and this for anybody listening who's like, okay, how does this translate to my life? I promise you, this translates to all areas of life. In fact, I had somebody ask me yesterday about like getting a promotion at their job, and and so on and so on. And it's like, where's your binder that shows all of the arguments for that are pro you? Now, if you don't have a binder, that's okay. But now it's just going to come back down to some version of he said, she said. And when it comes to like arguments are had inside of a finite space, like of time. So if it's not, it's one thing to say, yeah, I did this. I pick my daughter up every day. It's another thing to say, okay, hey judge, or hey whoever you're arguing to, right? Here's the entire binder of all of my data points. And then if you can summarize it, which Ray, you're phenomenal with linguistic patterns, right? It's like, okay, I every single day for the last 2 years, right, to the tune of whatever, right? Like 350 times I've picked my daughter up here, dropped her off here. Here also, Judge, the 37 times where I've been denied access because of what I would define as like an inconvenience for the mother, right? And here's the 15 times where X happened. Here's the 10 times where this happened. And by the way, if you want, right, here's all the proof of that. Screenshots of text messages, emails, screenshots of text messages saying, hey, Ray, I got to change plans. Which, by the way, Judge, there was 27 of those moments in the last 3 months, right? So how many fathers out there, right, like my buddy Wes's father, who just chose to leave, right? But I'm choosing to stay around, and here's the data points where I can show you that I'm actually trying to do that. Please do not allow this person to take my child away, right? Do you know what I mean? That's a strong 2-minute argument versus, no, I am a great dad. No, he's not, right? What are you going to get from that? What's the judge supposed to think?
Yeah, and so Zach, what you just saw in real time is when the needle goes into the red zone with Wes. We love when he gets fired up. I feel like you're a little fired up on my behalf, Wes.
Oh, 100%.
Sorry,
I do not like bully ball.
Wes is trashing his office in rage. Yeah, dude, and I think that I think you've nailed it, dude. Where it's like, how does this apply to everybody else, or is this just a personal therapy session one-on-one with Ray? No, this is like, show me the receipts, right? When Whitney Houston, like Whitney Houston's most famous quote, right? It's like, what do you mean, crack? I smoke crack. Crack is whack. Show me the receipts. Like, if I want to continue to have daily access, show me the receipts. That's like, I'm a great dad. If I claim I'm a great dad,
Yep.
Right. Everything is a practice, right? Everything's a practice.
It's unbelievable to me how humans will just say stuff, like completely irrespective of the reality. It's insane, and it applies to every type of situation you can imagine, right? Like I'm still amazed at what adult humans will say, and it's oftentimes the exact opposite of what the reality is. It's just unbelievable. So when you're the human that can actually perform and bring the reality to the table when like the kids need to be sat down and be like, no, actually, I haven't dropped the hammer on you for this out of respect. But if you're going to challenge me, right, like good luck. And then boom. I remember I once had some roommates years ago. Actually, the roommates that Ray met years ago. Question me on something silly, and they didn't know, right? I didn't speak to them like basically ever. They didn't know I'm just stacking chips for years, and they thought I was just some knucklehead. So they tried to charge me for something, and that just set me off. So I'm not kidding you, I printed out 4 binders for them, and I gave them all one. And and then I said, okay, you guys think I owe you this. Here's exactly why I don't. And in fact, turns out you guys each owe me $86.74. Right. And here's all the data points to show it. But I'm happy to waive that because like, just to prove to you, like I'm not just some dude who's living in the attic, right? Like I'm a different person than you're thinking, and you're not going to like play bully ball. So that's not a brag. I'm saying for all of us to do that. If you are a worthy man of whatever you think you are, collect the receipts and show people when they need to be shown. And if you're not, then you have to reconcile that. And I think oftentimes, Ray, that is often the case as well. Of like when you're called out into battle, how much of it is just like this, like, elaborate song and dance because you can't actually fight.
Right. And I think that it's like, and again, it's part of being a leader, right? Which is something we come back to so much. Which is like you demonstrated leadership in that way, right? Where you just didn't say, this is what I want because I want it. You took the time to like to prepare the receipts, right? To prepare the case.
And if you're in the habit of actually tracking that stuff and have the skill, like it takes dramatically less time than if you're trying to fake it or you have to make up for lost time and gain ground on like your lack of skill. Do you know what I mean? But in my opinion, Ray, use these as wake-up calls. If you haven't been doing that, then do it now.
Yeah.
Phil, what's your take, brother?
Yeah, I mean, definitely use this as a wake-up call for sure. Even if even if that's not even the main cause of what's causing this, like definitely, because yeah, you don't want to end up. Take it from me, you don't want to end up wishing you acted earlier. Uh,
Yeah.
I've been stuck in that for a couple of years now, and it's not fun to be in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Yeah.
say something real
Right.
quick?
Please,
Oh,
Zach, please
sorry.
go for it.
The one thing that I want to say is I don't know how Canadian court systems work, but if you and your ex have a working relationship where you can actually negotiate, the way courts worked, at least in North Carolina, where my wife had her case, they didn't even really have lawyers argue back and forth. They just went into, I forget what it's called, like
Mediation.
basically they just negotiate mediation, yeah, and they just negotiated the
Mm.
terms, and there was I don't know if it was a judge or something sitting there and just trying to like figure things out. So I mean, if you two can have a working relationship, you might even not have to get lawyers like Wes is saying. Yeah, might not even have to bring the binder in there. You two could just figure it out yourselves.
Yeah, I think that
But make sure the binder,
mediation.
she sees the outline of the binder in your back pocket or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, don't make me bring this motherfucker out.
Yeah, and I think Zach, I think you and Wes are both correct that like the same amount of homework and due diligence is required in both mediation and trial. Trial is more expensive. Mediation is a less expensive and less adversarial uh, form of conflict resolution. It's one of the bundle of, it's like arbitration. It's like one of the bundle of things they call alternative dispute resolution, ADR. But I think that it involves, like, I want the same outcome, right? I want as much time with my daughter. And so I think that uh, the same kind of due diligence on my part is going to be required. Even though, yes, of course, I would prefer to have the more civil and less expensive um, version, which is mediation, which I think is likely where this is going to go. But the same kind of homework
Yeah.
is going to be required. Same approach and kind of like urgency.
Yeah. And Ray, there's something in sales called controlling the anchor, which I think might be applicable here. I love the response of like when a you know a potential client says, hey, you could charge less, right? So that sets an anchor point, right? You take control back
Yeah.
of the anchor saying, I could also charge more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, hey, funny thing, I was thinking of moving to California, right? Let's talk about that. Right. So now it's like you're getting, do you know what I mean? You're getting the negotiate. So I'm not just going to negotiate around the anchor that you set. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
control the frame. I'm going to control the anchor. And again, that
Mm-hmm.
has to be backed up with all the stuff we were talking about earlier. It's like, do not mess with me because you know that I will move that anchor. Like, don't like, and you're one razor thin edge away from me doing that. But
Mm-hmm.
the person has to know that you're. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Zach, I think Wes is almost redlining again.
Yeah.
That was you're like a hair's width away
Yeah. Yeah.
from
Yeah.
triggering
Yeah.
the nuclear option, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's going for
So
mutually assured destruction.
right,
yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
yeah, and actually that's like that's kind of what that's kind of, I mean, you're joking, Zach, but that is kind of like the threat, right? With these kind of divorce or family law,
Oh yeah.
um, where like we're gonna scorch the relationship and we're willing to scorch each other in the process, you know?
And lose like thousands of dollars on lawyers.
Yeah, and years of our lives and our kind of youthful good looks and all that, right? And just be totally damaged in fact, like the legal system is fucking supremely good at doing that to people. If you sue a business partner or you sue a contractor who bungled a house renovation, right? It's like um uh like like justice is very elusive in the justice system, right? And
Yeah.
so I think that yeah, I think that I mean you have to keep that in mind as you prepare for war, right? And I don't know what the West.
Yeah.
I don't know what the kind of like the mantra would be. Like pray for peace, prepare for war, or something. Um,
Yeah, it was you and I have talked about before, right? It's like better that saying of like better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, for sure.
hmm hmm
Um, my final words of wisdom on this, Ray, if you don't mind, is like
Yes.
I quite often think that in this type of environment, if you've ever seen that movie, it's Batman with Bane. I
hmm
forget, I don't know what the movie's called. Um, uh, and there was this interaction with Bane, who was kind of like raised in the sewer system, almost sort of a thing, you know. But wolf in sheep's clothing, like intellectually, right? You just look at this guy, looks like a brute, but you know, from my perception, he's like massively intelligent, and he partnered up with this suit guy. You know, it looks like
hmm
this Wall Street type of guy who's like powerful and whatever. And they just did something, and this suit goes up to Bane and is like saying like, "Hey, now you can't do this. I'm the one who controls all this," and giving him all these intellectual reasons as to why. And all Bane has to do is he puts his hand on the guy's kind of like the back of his neck, sort of a deal, and he's like, "Do you feel in control right now?" You know, and that just again totally like moves the frame. Like you can give me this laundry list of like intellectual things and you're this big shot, but it's like, let me just remind you real quick. And all I have to do is
Yeah.
say one sentence. And you just see in the guy like, oh, okay, you know. And then Bane kills him. So take whatever you want from that, you know. Um,
Great.
no, but in all seriousness, man, like be the man who
Mm,
you know you should be and deserve to be, and don't let
right.
people bully you around. And also that also means don't bully back, right? Like just
Yeah.
to make that very clear to everybody. Like, but
Yeah.
hold your ground and let everybody know that you are going to fight for your boundaries, but also what is right. So those are my final words.
hmm
Phil, final words of wisdom, buddy.
Um, I don't know. I don't have any wisdom, but I don't know. I think that everything that's said so far is good advice. I think it'll help a lot.
Zach,
Thank you,
handing you the
Phil.
mic, brother.
Just be the better parent, and you'll slowly win over time.
Thank you,
Oh,
Zach.
actually, yeah, that is something. That is something. Sorry, that is something I wanted to say earlier. Is I don't know if this ever came up in the combo earlier, or if you ever think this at all. But I just wanted to say, I think don't worry too much about her saying crap about you to your kids because
Mm.
kids are very intelligent, kids are extremely perceptive, and kids understand reality better than adults do. So, if that's a concern at
I
all,
agree.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think I think that's excellent, Phil. And the other thing you said as well earlier, which was like be the more emotionally kind of mature parent or like emotionally stable parent throughout this, is like yeah. So give my daughter a little bit of credit. She is super smart and super emotionally intelligent, and she knows what's going on. I don't have to like I don't have to um, fight fire with every single thing that mom does. Like I want to let her just be a kid and just know that she understands, um, yeah, what's going on. I think that's a really great point, um, Phil. And I want to thank all you guys. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Ryan, and all my chat army, for yeah, for giving me support through this. And again, like whether she wants to do it or it's just a kind of like she just lobbing grenades, like I have to take it seriously and not be asleep at the wheel. Uh, if I claim to be a great dad, I have to continue to act that way and like demonstrate that through my actions and have the receipts to prove it.
Yep,
Um,
absolutely love it. And
Thank you,
Ray,
lads.
thank you, brother, because it takes a lot of balls to be able to like bring this to a community and talk about it. So, but this is the real life stuff, man. So thank you very much, man. Love you as always, buddy. All you guys have a great weekend. Talk to you all on Monday. Later.